श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् ॐ अखण्डानन्दसम्बोधः वन्दनात् यस्य जायते गोविन्दं तमहं वन्दे चिदानन्दतनुं गुरुम्. Very good. So we were seeing yesterday regarding the Mangalacharana, and after understanding the Mangalacharana we entered the next topic called Sa Anubandha Chatushtaya, the four prerequisites for the book. Though the fourth shloka may be included in the Mangalacharana, since it does not fall under any category of the Mangalacharana, we are including it in the Anubandha Chatushtaya group. Why it can be included in the Mangalacharana? Because in Mangalacharana, the rule is, this is the normal general norm. They also include the four prerequisites in the Mangalacharana itself. So that fourth shloka can be a part of Mangalacharana. So if we don't want that, we can club it together in the Anubandha Chatushtaya group, as saying the Anubandha Chatushtaya, regarding the Anubandha Chatushtaya in general. The Vedanta Shastra Siddhanta Sara Sangraha is the Vishaya, subject matter. And Prekshavata Mumukshuna is the eligible seeker, the one who has the inquiry capacity and the one who has the desire for moksha. And Sukhabodha Upapattaye, for him to gain the knowledge easily, quickly, without any obstacles, without any difficulty. That is the Prayojana. So almost everything comes into picture there. But if somebody is not understanding that, to make him understand clearly, each one of these are taken here. Before that, while we were discussing the Anubandha Chatushtaya, the prerequisites, we were also talking about the prerequisites with respect to the Purvamimamsa and Vedanta Shastra. In Purvamimamsa, the first sutra of Jaimini Sutras are this sutra. Atha ato dharma jignasa. Atha ato dharma jignasa. 4 words. Atha dharma jignasa. Okay. In the Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra, that is Jaimini Sutra, this is Brahma Sutra, Vyasa Sutra. There, Vaiyasika Sutra we call it. There, the sutra is Atha ato brahma jignasa. Atha ato jignasa. These 3 words are common in both. The only difference is the third word. In one place it is dharma, the other place it is brahma. Everything is same. And how do we translate it? Atha ato we translate it as thereafter. Now here, thereafter. Thereafter what? Inquiry into the Brahman, inquiry into the dharma. That is how we translate. But wait, is that so simple? No. Because thereafter means something else in the previous, in the Purvamimamsa school, and thereafter means something else in the Uttaramimamsa, in the Vedanta school. In the Purvamimamsa, thereafter means after studying the Vedas. And in the Vedanta, it is not after studying the Vedas. Thereafter, the same word is interpreted in different way. Thereafter means after gaining the Viveka and Vairagya, after gaining the discrimination and dispassion. So that is how they both differ. Each school differ because the prerequisites differ. The qualification for a person differs from place to place. Without a qualification, nothing can function. Even a simple labor, like this building, you have this building. This building is built by a mistri, the mason. Now, mason is the highest paid one, and the helper he is the lowest paid one. That is how we see the pay grades. Now, since let us say mason is paid 1,000 rupees and the helper is paid 500 rupees, twice the amount is what mason is paid from the helper. Simple. Now, Which one do you want? The 500 or 1000? Of course, you will want 1000. But are you capable of, are you eligible for that? So, because you want 1000, you will say, I want to be Mason from you, with you from today. No, they won't allow you to be Mason immediately, even for the doing the simplest of jobs. So, first you will be inducted, you will be taken in. Probably some recommendation is needed even there. But after that, they'll make you carry loads of sand, loads of the stones, loads of the cement bags, this and that. They will not let you anywhere close to the cement works. Now, after you proved yourself utilitarian, they understand that you are a quick seeker, quick learner. They will tell you to mix the sand and cement. That is the next teaching. You will be upgraded. Whether your pay is upgraded or not doesn't really matter. You will be upgraded to the next stage. Not in the beginning. No. First, you will be only led to carry these things. Now, after that, you will be asked to carry this cement, etc., to the fellow who is doing the proper job of applying the cement mixture to the walls. Now, while you carry that, sometimes the head mason will allow you to apply in some places where there is no need for a perfect job. A simple ton job is good enough. So he'll ask you to put the cement in one area and on the ground and make a somewhat flat surface or apply on the walls. That's the next stage. So when you are able to properly apply on the walls the cement mixture and it sticks and there is a semblance of a proper work, then he'll ask you, let you to do the sizing, meaning you will be made to get the walls flat and all that. He will teach you how to use here they use, previously they used to use a wooden bar. Now they use an aluminum bar, which is very simple to clean and very light to use. So they use an aluminum bar to flatten the surface. They'll teach you that. Once you have learned that perfectly, they will let you to do the corners, because making the corners is not an easy job. The cement, if it is a little bit, then it will fall. There will be the edges will not be proper. So the flat edges, how to use the mercury, etc., to see for the walls they don't use mercury balls, but for the surface they'll use mercury balls. For the flat surface they'll use mercury balls. If you want to see for the walls, to see if it is properly aligned, they used to still some people use this weight, a square inside a triangle. So that triangle ball, it will be hanging. So they'll place the square with a thread that should align. It's all technique. You have to learn that. Once you are master of that, then they will let you to perform these proper things like putting staircase, etc. Those things. Then you are master. You cannot see. Maybe when you start applying the cement on the surface, you will be given the pay grade of a mason, but still you are not a mason. You are still not a mason. You have not completely gained the perfect qualification to be called a mason. You are just a superior helper, that's all. Inferior mason, that's all. You are not mason properly. Yeah, not properly. Now, similarly, if it is the case of a simple job like that, that's not a simple job, I'm saying. For Shastra, there is not much more than that required. So he says, That is why adhikari, etc. is important. If you are not eligible, see people who are lazy, that the lazy people who I was talking about, they will say, "Oh, this is all useless. You know, it is too much of boiling your head and all. This is useless because they can't. They don't have brains. Brain melting and all that they say because they don't have brains. They can't even talk about brains. They should not even talk about brains, but they'll talk. The thing is, you have to understand. That is why I'm saying. अस्य शास्त्रानुसारित्वात् अनुबंध चतुष्टयम् यदेव मूलं शास्त्रस्य निर्दिष्टं तदिह उच्यते अस्य शास्त्र अनुसारित्वात् अनुबंध चतुष्टयम् यदेव मूलं शास्त्रस्य निर्दिष्टं तद इह उच्यते. So the way you connect is asya shastra anusaritvat asya granthasya, since this text is a shastra anusaritvat, following, anusari means following the footsteps, following the shastra. Since this text follows the shastra, therefore yedeva moolam shastrasya, whatever is the base that is accepted in the shastra, whatever is the root that is accepted in the shastra, whatever that is accepted in the shastra of the common thing, tad yedeva moolam shastrasya nirdishtam tad eva iha tad anubandha chatushtaya iha uchyate. That anubandha chatushtaya is what we are saying. That is the same anubandha chatushtaya we are also accepting, because we are talking about the Vedanta Shastra, and this is also Vedanta Shastra. And whatever is applied for any other Vedanta Shastra, whatever prerequisites are is accepted in the other Vedanta Shastra, the same prerequisites are accepted here too, because they are both. This is also following the same Vedanta Shastra. Okay, therefore the prerequisites of any Vedanta Shastra is same as this Shastra. This prerequisites of this Shastra is same as any Vedanta Shastra. That is established now. Okay, now he goes, what is this? What does this mean? What is this Anubandha Chatushtaya you are talking about? Because you are trying to threaten us like again and again. Anubandha Chatushtaya, Anubandha Chatushtaya, Anubandha Chatushtaya. We have this the story of this boy who used to fool people. The tiger is coming, kind of. When really the tiger comes, people are not worried about, because this fellow always lies, tiger is coming. Even when he says the real tiger is coming, they won't, it is okay. Likewise, I am saying Anubandha Chatushtaya, when really I am entering the Anubandha Chatushtaya, he's going to say another story. So really I am going to, I have no idea if the others have seen, in India, in South India, the old generations, we have seen in our period, we had these shows. Now you cannot have these shows because the Blue Cross Society and the Wildlife Protection Act, etc., they are against it, and there are some people who think they are smarter than the others, therefore they are also against this. The thing is, when we were child, when we were children, they used to bring the snakes. The snake charmers used to bring snakes and the mongoose. He'll have the mongoose out, but the snakes in the box. He'll say, "I'm going to release the snake. I'm going to release the snake. This is going to have. There is going to be a fight between this." He'll be going on talking blah 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 for half an hour or more. And when you say, "Okay, enough of this fellow," he is not going to open this snake. And when you decide to leave, he is also going to drop a bombshell. He'll say, "If you leave in between, you will split bread and you will die." You will never dare to leave that place. So these are the bear fellows. People used to bring bear or monkeys, etc. That was a period. Okay, so like that, I am not talking about this Anubandha Chatushtaya. I am really going to show you Anubandha Chatushtaya. Next sloka is Adhikari cha Vishayah Sambandhascha Prayojanam Shastra Arambha Phalam Prahuhu Anubandha Chatushtayam. Adhikari cha Vishayah Sambandhascha Prayojanam Shastrarambha Phalam Prahu Anubandha Chatushtayam. Anubandha Chatushtayam Sa Shastrarambha Phalam Prahu. Prahu Prakrishtenahu. These people say very nicely, beautifully. Who? These people who know about Shastras. What? Shastra Arambha Phalam. This is the result for beginning the Shastra. Beginning the study of Shastra, any Shastra. What? This Anubandha Chaturya, the four prerequisites. What are they? Adhikari. The first is the eligible seeker. Adhikari. Second is a Vishaya, the subject matter. So, first we have to be very clear. Am I an eligible seeker? Am I a seeker? Am I a seeker of this, whatever subject matter we are talking about? If I am not interested in this subject matter, then I am not a seeker. Though I may be a seeker for something else, but I am not eligible for this text. You understand? I don't want this. Even if I may be eligible, I am not interested in the subject matter. So I will not be continuing this text. Okay. Then the third is Sambandhascha. Let us leave the Sambandhascha. Prayojanam, the result. Because we are result oriented. We always expect results, that to quick results. So Prayojanam is a foremost thing we are interested. I don't care about the Vishaya, subject matter, let it be whatever. Will I get the result? That's all. Because we are taught the means, whatever it may be, that is not important. The end justifies the means. We are taught that. So we are not even really interested in the Vishaya. If the result is there, I don't care about the Vishaya. So that is what is our general perception. So we have to understand, Adhikari, if you are eligible seeker, are you really interested in the subject matter which we are discussing? And if the subject matter is interesting and you are eligible, then is the result conclusive for you? Do you want this result through this subject matter? Are you interested in that subject matter? Because the fourth one, which I left, as that is said, enumerated as the third in the shloka, which I left, which is Sambandha, relation. What is that relation? What does Sambandha, relation means? Relation between these three. The relation between the eligible seeker, Adhikari, and the Vishaya, the subject matter. So it's like a triangulation. So there is a relationship between the eligible seeker and the subject matter. And there is a relationship between the eligible seeker and the Prayojana, result. And there is another corner, which is the eligible, the relationship between the Prayojana and the result, end result, and the Vishaya, subject matter. So, eligible seeker, subject matter, result, eligible seeker. Adhikari, Vishaya, Prayojana, Adhikari. There is a relationship between all these three. So, only when this is established, this is determined, then can there be any interest in studying this Shastra, any Shastra for that matter. If none, even if one of them don't qualify, don't attract my interest, then there's no point in going into the Shastra. No one will be interested in it. We'll see each of them in a detailed way. So that is why it says Shastra Arambha Phalam. This is the result you gain for studying any Shastra. That is what is accepted by the learned ones. Now, 7th shloka. Chaturubhih sadhanai samyak sampanno yukti dakshinaha medha vipurusho vidvan adhikaryatra sammataha. Chaturubhih sadhanaihi samyak sampannaha yukti dakshinaha medhavi purushaha vidwan adhikari atra sammataha. Adhikari atra sammataha. Adhikari, eligible seeker, atra, here in this text, sammataha is accepted. This is the person who is accepted as the eligible seeker in this text. Who is this eligible seeker? There are 4 adjectives. Chaturbihi sadhanaihi samyak sampannaha. That is the first one. There are 4 words, but that is the first one. One who is endowed with these 4 prerequisites nicely. Then second one is Yukti Dakshinaha. He is expert in the logic. Third one, Medhavi. He has the capacity to store things, to remember things. Fourth one, not Purusha, Vidwan, learned one. Purusha is not the adjective. Purusha is the adjectified. We have to understand the word Purusha. That is why I'm explaining. I'm not explaining the other words. Purusha means generally a person, but Purusha here means male, a man. Purusha in Sanskrit means man. If Purusha is translated as man, then all the women, all the ladies, they can get out of the class. There is no point in studying the Shastra. Because some people interpret this as directly as a person, a man, etc. And therefore, they make immediately all the women ineligible for studying the Shastra. For studying the Vedas, there may be some obstacles, there may be some rules for the ladies to not study, but not for the other Shastras. If we see in our tradition, we were not binding the women. We were not binding the women, keeping them in their rooms, etc. without, oh, Indian nature. That is not how it was. It was probably because of the invaders. We didn't have this kind of rules and regulations. In fact, women were more secure in India than they are now. They were more secure. Like I read a newspaper, just news article 2-3 days ago. There was this article about this girl who was traveling in a train in Chennai. She had a phone in her hand, and two culprits, they wanted to snatch her phone, and she was not ready to give up her phone, part with her phone. So they were they are playing tug of war, and finally those two culprits won. But in the melee, they pulled her down, and she fell off the train and had some bruise and all that, and she was admitted to hospital, and they are diagnosed there is some concussion, etc. And she died after 2 days. Kind of security we have. This is not how. Even the women were free to go at any point of time, anywhere, without any male escort. They were not needed because people were very supportive, respective of women. So that kind of thing is stupidity to say, oh, women were not eligible because. No. Because if you declare that, because that word is a very important word, Purusha, that is why I am trying to give so much of importance. Because in today's world, it is very difficult to describe these things very clearly. Like they say, man, woman. That's the clear distinctions we had when we say man, man, woman, woman, over. But here, a person imprisoned in the female body, a male imprisoned in the female body, a female imprisoned in the male body. These ideas, stupidities, we already have enough problems. Now there are enough more problems imposed on us, and we are accepting that as an issue. Now, that kind of person is not eligible because he has already a problem and he cannot focus on this. So we are not talking about them. We are talking about this Purusha. Who is this Purusha we are talking about? We have to be very clear. One word, very clear word this is. Because if you are going to translate this Purusha as man only, then you have a problem like this Gargi, Maitri, etc. of the Shastras. In Upanishads, these names come. These names pop up as the liberated women, not this just lib women's. No, not that. Women's liberation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these women who were freed from this cycle of bondage, birth and death, cycle of samsara. So those people will be excluded. How can you say, no, they can never gain knowledge? No. Leave alone that. We have this Ubhaya Bharati, wife of Mandana Mishra. When Acharya Bhagavan Bhashyakara wanted to have a debate with Mandana Mishra, he accepted, and he wanted Ubhaya Bharati, wife of Mandana Mishra, as the middle person, the judge for the debate. So if this lady does not understand anything between these two, how can she be a judge? So they were allowed to study the Shastra. Leave alone that. We have seen many movies, Indian movies, if you have watched, if you have studied the Indian history, we have seen in many of these places where the princes were given the freedom to choose the husband. I'm not even talking about that choosing. That's called Swayamvara. I'm not even talking about that. During that Swayamvara, during that marriage proposal, they invite these people and there will be a physical test normally. But in cases we have seen, this learned princess decides to put a quiz. Whoever solves the quiz, this puzzle, is eligible suitor. That's how it was. So that means she was a learned princess. So education was not, they were not prevented from studying. They were prevented from, they were not accepted only for studying the Vedas, but for other Shastras, there was no obstacle. Okay. So that now understood. In Viveka Chudamani, because these are things which we have to understand. In Viveka Chudamani, he says in the beginning, मनुष्यत्वम ममुष्यत्वम महापुरुष संश्रयः त्रयम् एतद्दुर्लभम लोके दैवानुग्रह हेतुकम. He says मनुष्यत्वम मुमुक्षुत्वम महापुरुष संश्रयः. Manushyattvam, having a birth of a human being, man. Mukshutvam, gaining the desire for liberation, and Mahapurusham Shreya, with learned man. There he says Manushyattvam. Manushya means human being, but there is the idea of the maleness is very clearly established there. Because in the next sutra he says, being born as a male, Narajanmo Durlabaha, and even having birth of male, being born as a Brahmin is very difficult. Even if you are born as a Brahmin, being born as a person who learns the Vedas is very difficult. Even if you are learning Vedas, having the knowledge of the self is very difficult. Like that, he's going on stage. But the first prerequisite is being born as a Nara, not Nari. Nari means feminine, female, lady. Nara means male, man. So that is what is difficult, he says. Oh, women cannot go freely. That I busted. It is not so. Only now it is difficult, not then. Even male cannot go freely nowadays. So what about women? So that is not the question. So then what's the idea here? And even see, this is with respect to that. Then with respect to Vairagya, there is another thing. When we are talking about dispassion, to inculcate this idea of dispassion, this dispassion in the men, they talk about the physical aspect of the woman. In Bhajagovindam, he says, Nari sanadvana sanabhara nabhi desham drishtva magha moha vesham, etc. Nari stanabhara nabhi desham. Nari, the woman's, Nari, woman, I told you already. So, Nari, the woman, her full bosom and her hip area don't get mesmerized by seeing these places. Now, that is a clear shamanistic idea. Then, what should we say about the woman? Get out. Now, that is not the idea. Then, why is it said men? Because we have to understand women. For women, Stri, there is a very beautiful word in the Shastra called Chanchala. Chanchala means disturbed, turbulent, not clear, not focused. You were trying to support all throughout the woman. Now suddenly you drop a bombshell saying Chanchala. No. Anything which you say can be interpreted positively or negatively. This word Chanchala, if you want to interpret it as a negative word, negative connotation, then you can say, oh, she's a person without focus. That's true. But if you want to talk about it in a positive way, then you have to understand the multitasking capability of a woman. There will be this rice cooking, and there is sambar or something, and there is this vegetable which is getting cooked, and salt where? Did I put salt in sambar or vegetable? we will forget. She doesn't forget. Apart from this, the child, she has to take care of the child. She has to give the milk or feed the child something. And this fellow sitting in the room or in the hall, reading the newspaper or watching the news channel, he'll be, can I have a cup of coffee? all this multitasking, okay, that also, this also, this also, this also, that capacity is impossible for a man. Multitasking capacity is impossible for a man. That is only a woman can do. That is the positive side. But chanchala as a person who cannot be focused, that is there very clearly. Because see, why is it so? Why she cannot focus? Because the world attracts women more than the men. How can you say that? Why? I don't give you any reasons. If you want to understand this, just go to a mall, supermarket or a mall. Any mall, you, whether it's India or in Europe or America, does not really matter. Any mall you enter, the first thing you will see is the ladies shop. Any mall. Okay. Now, if there are 100 shops, you can close the eyes. 90 shops are woman oriented. 4 shops, cell phone and things like that. Then 3 shops for bags and that. It's all common shops. They are not common shops. They are not men oriented shops. So 90% of the shop, women's dress, women's toiletries, women's this, women's that, women's decorative ornaments and all that. Nothing for men. I went to a big shop, 10,000 square feet or something below, and 10,000 square feet or something above. They had vegetables and all that. They had women's dress. And I was taken to the men's section, where in a corner of the shop, a small place, 100 square feet maybe. In 10,000 square feet or 5,000 square feet, 100 square feet of the place is for men. That is how it is. So the world attracts, even the advertisements you see on the TV, it is never man oriented, never an advertisement for attracting the man. No, it's always to attract the woman. Any advertisement. Because the attraction towards the world is more for women than the men. Now in India, it's a common thing, or anywhere it's a common thing. To buy a simple saree, this lady will go to a shop and choose that. No, that. The whole shelf will be there on the table, and after that, she will choose one saree which the other person chose. After a fight, she will take that saree. While going home, she'll be thinking, should I have chosen the other one? After hours. Now, a man, he goes to a shop, buys a shirt or pant, just comes out. That's all. Over. Nothing. He'll not even think about it. He has some idea. Oh, that one. Okay, give me. This will be good. Okay, good. Give me. If your friend says, why did you choose this shirt? He'll say, it's okay. Doesn't really matter. The world does not have that much of attraction for the man as it has for the woman. That is why, because of the attraction from the world, she is not able to focus. And because of the lack of focus, here it is always said purusha. If a person, if a woman, if a lady has this kind of focus, she will also come under the purusha. Then we have to just change this. I change a little bit in the shloka of this Nari Sthanabharana Videsham of Bhajagovindam. I change it and I read it in the same meter as the shloka, so that it is also applied for the woman. Like I will sing 6-pack, 8-pack, single pack, no pack, drishtva magha moha vesham. 6-pack, 8-pack, you know, 6-pack and 8-pack are very difficult. That's we know. Single pack is the big belly, and no pack, a person does not even have that belly. So, drishtva magha moha, don't become attracted to this. That is how we have to say. So a person with a focus is what is accepted to be purusha here. Purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti.